This is my third Stellar Blade video in a row. I promise I do still cover other games over here on JRPG, but this is one of my favorite games in a long time, and it's probably one of my game of the years, especially for an RPG. So hey, maybe there's a video on the horizon of that closer to the end of the year. But that said, I've been waiting for a while for more Stellar Blade content, and I know a lot of the fans have too, and they really did deliver at Shift Up with the photo mode. The photo mode is one of the best I have ever seen in a game. It's something we're going to take a look at today for just a few minutes. I do know that there is also the Nier DLC that did drop. I am not a big Nier fan, and by that I don't mean that I don't like it. I mean I've just never really had a chance to play through them. So I actually picked up all three of the main, PlayStation ones, like the original PS3 one that North America got. I know it got changed a little bit. And then, of course, as well, Replicant and Automata, I think that's how you say it. Somebody told me I say it wrong. Regardless, I do know that that DLC is out. That's not something I'm really taking a look at today, though. I'm taking a look at the free stuff you get with the photo mode, which is pretty comprehensive. Maybe in the future I'll look back at the Nier stuff, but like since I'm not an expert on it, I felt like I'd be doing it a disservice. One thing I can tell you is the outfits are gorgeous. Like I think they look really good. But today we're looking at the photo mode, which is very, very comprehensive. So if you enjoyed today's video, you want to leave a like, subscribe, let me know what other games you want me to cover on this channel. And also, I do have a question of the day for you, which is there another feature or a tweaked feature that you would want to see come to Stellar Blade? For me, there's a few things with the photo mode I'd love to see changed, but I will talk about that here. Now, the only photo mode I have ever seen in a AAA console game, there might be some other ones, that is as comprehensive as Stellar Blades, especially for being free, is probably Marvel's Spider-Man. The Marvel Spider-Man trilogy as of right now, 1, Miles, and 2, they have very, very, very good photo modes. Very comprehensive, so many different poses, so many different locations you can take Spider-Man to and do whatever you want. And so that kind of set a really high standard for a Sony game, right? For a PlayStation exclusive. Now, I have no idea if Shift Up and Kim Hyung Tae and the crew over there, looks at a game like Marvel's Spider-Man at all, a more Western game, and compares any kind of features like that. I would assume everybody kind of under that Sony umbrella or working with Sony is aware of these other games. But that said, going into this, there was a high bar already, for a AAA Sony type game. But I think Stellar Blade, to me, kind of surpassed it. There are a couple other things I'd like to see added, but as of right now, I counted, and I'm not great at math, 26 different normal poses for Eve. There is a normal photo mode you can enter, and then there is a camera that you can use for a selfie type photo mode. So they essentially put two different photo modes in here, and both have unique different things in them. So like I said, for that normal photo mode for Eve, there's 26 different poses, but then for the selfie camera, there's 6 additional poses as well. There's 18 different expressions for both types. And then for Lily and Adam, there's different things as well. For the normal photo mode, there's 18 different expressions for Lily, 22 different poses, and then if you get her behind you in the selfie photo mode with the camera, she'll actually pose in what I counted was 4 different ways, kind of in different idle animations posing behind Eve to be in the photo with her, depending on if you have her in the shot. Speaking of in the shot, the same thing goes for Adam with 14 different expressions, 21 different poses, and 4 different selfie poses. There is a lot you can do messing around with the main trio of characters. Speaking of that, there is a lot you can do messing around with the photos themselves. Not only do you have different filters, there were quite a few of those, but you have 16 different frames and at least 25 different logos and stickers that you can play with. That's ignoring things like hues, ignoring things like saturation, lights you can move manually around the screen, even out of the shot. A lot that you can do to manipulate this. And I do think as well, there are also some poses for this that are overlooked. For example, there are no combat poses really that you can mess with, but you have to remember that because you can open up the normal photo mode during combat and even during cutscenes, there's plenty of pictures you can get of Eve doing combat and doing different stuff in different key animations that aren't even listed in these poses. There's also so many different things Eve interacts with in the world, from picking up items to sitting on chairs to standing in different ways to examining things. Like, those are not counted in the photo mode static poses that you can manipulate there. So already this is a photo mode with hundreds, probably thousands of different possible combinations that you can do just in one real area, you know, and this is a game that's pretty big. There's a lot of different areas you can take Eve to, and this is all free. That's one reason I think this really deserves celebration, is because Shift Up went back after making this very beautiful game and they added in all of this content for free. I know the Nier stuff is about $10 United States, at least, you know, in my currency, that's what it is. I don't know what it is elsewhere, which is also pretty cheap for a add-on with this many different things. I'm really impressed at how they have treated this game so far. I know we're not looking at the Nier stuff as much here, but I do want to say that, like, I'm looking at other games, especially in the West. I'm looking at games like Fortnite, which I enjoy, totally different type of game. I do like it, but you'll get some costumes that are, you know, a lot more than this just on its own, really. And this is multiple costumes bundled together for $10 with that Nier DLC. And that's not even to mention the fact that this photo mode on its own, you get that without that DLC. It's just a free update, along with several different costumes and outfits that were added in just with the photo mode update as different awards for completing these photo mode quests that you get. I think it's a really, really cool way to do an update, a really cool way to actually treat, I guess, a single player game that was a complete game at launch, but now has even more content in it. I'm actually very, very impressed by that, and that's ignoring the fact that you had all of those costumes and outfits for free at launch, plus the different color variations of them for New Game Plus. Now, what's interesting about this is it also sets this up as a baseline for more. You know, you already have all of these different combinations, all of these different things you can do with this photo mode. I found this photo mode was almost like a mini game in and of itself. It's allowed me to look around the world, see different assets in ways that I couldn't before, both on Eve and in the world as well. Take that for what you will. You know, even doing things like being able to look closely at the can collection that Eve gets, or being able to manipulate the camera and get up higher into Zion to look around. Actually, a lot of these features are things you only really see in PC games, where they can do different things to manipulate the camera freely. It's really nice to actually see these in a console game that is getting a lot of attention and really does deserve it. I will say you absolutely can manipulate characters in ways that I wouldn't say are like X-rated or anything. Like any photo mode, you can mess with poses and make things look off screen like something is happening that isn't. But regardless, this is just a very, very creative added in feature that adds even more value to this already great game. I love this game. I'm very excited. There are a couple things that I would like to see different. Like, for example, I would love it if you could move the characters around a little more other than Eve. If Eve is in, you know, Atlas Lavar, and you want to put Adam in a shot, even though he normally wouldn't be there, I would love it if you could spawn in Adam in photo mode. Or if you wanted to put Lily in a shot, if you could spawn Lily in photo mode. Because as of right now, I haven't seen any way to do that. I haven't seen anyone say there's a way to do that. Really, it's just like you have to have them in that area with you. You can make them go away if you want, but you can't exactly spawn them into new areas. So that's something where I wonder, like, if that feature will be added or if that will be a baseline for PC modders to mess with when the game comes to PC. And that's kind of where I'm standing on all of these poses. I saw some people complain there weren't enough poses. There's a lot of poses. I'm actually surprised at how many there were for a free update. You know, they didn't do a microtransaction or anything for this. They just gave this out to the community. But that said, I would love to see even more if they do decide to add those in. We do know that there will be most likely more content, whether that is costumes, updates, etc., and that they're working on different fixes for things with photo mode, like certain clippings and things like that with different characters. But if there was a way to spawn in these characters, maybe manipulate them a little more, and also if there was a little more customization for them other than Eve, I think that would be really fun. Like, for example, Lily is an adult woman. I mean, she's very petite, but she's an adult woman. So it's weird to me that, like, for as pretty as she is, and as much as they lean into that with the photo mode, with giving her all these different poses and knowing players like her, and especially like her and Eve's dynamic together, that they don't really have very many costumes for her in the game. And for Adam, it's kind of even worse. Like, Adam is just kind of a background character that only gets a couple of different looks. So those different things I think would add a lot to this And even if we don't see them, I know we will with the PC release. It just would be nice to see that on the console for console players, especially since console players are the ones who, you know, push this to over 1 million sales pretty quickly. I don't think that it's something. I talked about the PC release, I talked about how excited I am for it, and I have a gaming PC, so I will be getting it. But it's also something where I hope that those core features aren't significantly worse on console. I do hope that they make a couple tweaks to them to improve them. I know that the fan community, who is extremely passionate, will go above and beyond and do even more, but I'd love to see a little bit more there from Shift Up before that does happen. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I love the photo mode. I think it's great. Very, very cool. And that Nier DLC is very, very, like, worth the money, in my opinion, for what you get. I do also love, I will say in a final thought, that with the photo mode, they do add in almost a scavenger hunt-like feature where you go around finding different things to complete those quests, like finding pictures of cats around Zion and things like that. I think those are fun little video game things that make a video game actually fun. They very clearly focused on the fun of this game and the beauty of this game, and I love that so much. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more content. I do cover Stellar Blade quite often. I also cover things here like Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, Fable, Fallout, so lots of different RPGs, JRPGs, all kinds of fun stuff here. We do have a channel which is Degenerate Plays, as long as we don't change the name of that channel, but that is in the description down below, where we play through games. We played through Stellar Blade, we're going to play more of it, and we have our own store, cosmobunny.shop. If you want to support our channel, we take manga, magazines, and comics that are damaged, that are unable to be sold by local businesses. We save some of that paper, we transform it into new art through resin, and we give it a new home to you. We also do have handmade beaded jewelry over there if you're a little fashionista or fashion guru yourself. So we appreciate you. Have a fantastic day. Use code DJAY123 on that site for 10% off your first purchase, or on Fortnite to help support our channel. And as always, everyone, stay shway.